Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another online practice. So today we're going to do some strengthening and some stretching of hamstrings and glutes. Reason being is in our yoga practice, we often do a lot of forward folding, so it can stretch the hamstrings. And then there's always a tendency to kind of push a little farther. And it may be that we're at the edge of where our hamstrings might want to go. They might be overstretched. So it's important to strengthen them and then stretch the other side of the body, so the front of the body, because the quadriceps could often be overdeveloped from physical activity. You know, they're the large muscles, the front of the legs, and they could sometimes be so strong that they kind of pull on the opposite muscle, the hamstrings. So we're going to strengthen the back body. And likewise for the gluteal muscles, they can be a little weakened from maybe excessive sitting or overused from certain activities like running, cycling. So they could often benefit from some strengthening as well. And it's really important to strengthen those back body muscles because then they'll help to support our spine and could actually alleviate some low back pain. So that's what we're up to today. And let's head to our mats. Come into a child's pose, whether it is wide-legged or legs together. Now, often, as I say, if having your knees in deep flexion like this does not feel comfortable for you, this practice could be done standing, and you could use a chair as support. So we'll talk a little bit more about it as we begin to move. If you were standing and using a chair, you could just simply take a forward fold. So that way you'll get some nice stretching in the back body. You know, maybe even before you fold too much, just focus on elongation. And then let's all take a moment here, wherever we ended up, to just settle in. Connect to your breath. Connecting your awareness to your breath. Letting that awareness ride on the breath through the body, taking note of how you're feeling today, so that you can make your own adjustments in your body to suit the practice to where you are. All right, take one more breath here, and then we'll rise up to tabletop or standing. So we're going to do just some spinal movements to get warmed up. So that'll be cat-cow. Again, can be done standing, just taking your body into a gentle extension and flexion. Inhale into that extension, breathing under the collarbones. Exhale, rounding the spine, draw navel back towards spine. Taking one more breath here. Exhale, rounding, pausing in that cat back, in that flexion. And then come back to a neutral. Engage the belly, draw the navel in or the lower ribs in to support the back. And then just wag your tail. Maybe let the head go from one side to the other as well, or to the opposite side, or same side. Actually, I'm doing same side. So we're moving our spine in flexion, that lateral flexion. And then you can hold if that feels really good. And then bring it to neutral and start to add a little hip circles. You know, some hip circles. And you can bring your hips all the way back towards your heels. You could come forward into sort of a baby upward facing dog. You can add that lateral movement, even a little twisting as you look up and back, and just make it feel good. Just move through any tight places in the body. I often refer to this movement as Ganesha Mudra, and Ganesha is that Hindu deity that is the remover of obstacles. So I always think of this as removing any obstacles, any tight places, go the other direction. Any places of constricted, energy constricted movement. So go at your own pace. Make it feel good. Just getting going. And then when you want to bring this movement to stillness, you can bring it back into a child's pose and pause once again. Maybe you notice you're able to sit a little deeper into your child's pose. Maybe you're able to stretch a little bit more through the upper body if you're standing. And then let's rise up into our table once again, or again into standing. So I'd be standing upright if I was and have a wall or a chair nearby. Hands are under shoulders, knees are under hips, belly's engaged. And then we're going to do some basically leg lifts to work the hamstrings and the glutes. So keep your knee bent, your foot dorsiflexed, and then lift the leg and lower. And don't just tap it down towards the earth, don't touch. So just lift and lower. Now if I was standing, I would just be here. I'd keep my thighs parallel and I'd be pressing back. Movement's not as great, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. Or I'd be curling. I'm sorry, we're doing the curling first. Good, all right. So, and then once you get up there, hold it up here. And now we're gonna curl, sorry about that. Extend and bring it in. Extend and bring it in. Extend, try to keep the thigh lifted in line with the hip and really squeeze the heel towards the buttocks so you're feeling your hamstring working. Now this next time that we curl in, when we extend, we're going to extend it out to the right side, tap the earth, come back up into that curl position, squeezing heel to buttocks, and then extend over to left. So keep going like that. Nice. And it doesn't matter how far you go out to the side. In fact, I'm not going out very far at all because I really want to feel that it's my hamstring is lifting my leg back up. Even some of my glute. How about one more time each side? Keep engaging the belly, engaging the arm muscles, grounding through the roots of the fingers. Hold it up and then dorsiflex the foot if you lost that, and pulse, and pulse, and pulse, and pulse for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there. Let's get a little quad stretch now so you can put the weight into the right hand, tone your belly, reach your left hand back. Reach toward that foot. Maybe you can grab the foot and lift the leg a little bit more, getting a stretch in the front of the leg. Maybe even coming into a little bit of a back bend here. Lifting the leg up towards the sky. Take one more breath. And then release your hand, release your leg, release the foot back down, and maybe sit back into a child's pose. Or come to standing to your Tadasana and pause. Good. Nice. Take one breath here. And the next inhale will rise up. We'll go right to the other side. Okay. So remember to put the weight into the roots of the fingers. So that you're coming out of the wrists here. And then we'll do the other side. Actually, I'm going to switch sides so you can see me better. And we'll just raise and lower the left leg. And notice the difference on this side. We're not symmetrical beings. One side might be stronger than the other and dominate, so it leaves the other side a little weak. So you might notice the difference. We've sometimes had injuries that need to compensate. So we want to keep the body strong, all parts of the body. And then the next time you lift your leg, hold it there. Hold. And we're going to do our curl. So extend and curl. Extend and curl. And try to keep the leg lifted. Don't let it drop down. And if you're standing, likewise, keep that leg maybe a little bit back from the standing leg. All right, one more curl. Now this next time we curl, we're going to extend it and bring that leg to tap out to the left side. Bring it back up, curl it in, extend it, tap over to the right side, curl it in, and other side. Good, and keep going. Keep your belly engaged, your arm muscles engaged. Good, and breathe. Keep the leg lifted as you come back up. Don't lose your curl. One more. And then come back to center and hold. Dorsiflex the foot, give some pulses, and pulse, and pulse. And notice if you feel this working into your glutes. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Stay here, maybe lift the leg a little higher, draw the heel in, or maybe sweep your right arm back and see if you can grab hold of that leg. To lift the leg, lift your heart, take it into a little bit back bend as you stretch the front of your thigh. Take one more breath, and then slowly release the leg with control. Lower the leg down. Sit back into your child's pose. One more time. Nice. Okay, so we're going to transition from a downward facing dog. So you can, if you're standing, you can just stay there. You're ahead of the game. If you want to come up through a puppy pose, you can take a puppy pose now with the hips over the knees and melting your heart down to the earth, and keeping your head at heart height if that feels more comfortable for you, or curl your toes under and send your hips to the sky. That was our first down dog. Especially after that hamstring work, you might need to pedal the feet out. Keep lifting the hips to the sky, melting the heart towards the earth, head between the arms. Take 2 more full breaths here. Grounding your hands, lengthening through your heels and pressing your thigh bones back, and then send the hips a little higher. Take 1 more breath, and let's look up toward our hands and walk our feet to our hands. Any way that feels comfortable for you. You can take little leg lifts if you want. And then back into our standing forward fold. You can shake your head yes here and no. And then bring any head movement to stillness. Rise up halfway, get long through your torso. Exhale back into your folds, and then with bent legs or straight, rise all the way up to standing, hands to prayer, and prayer to your heart. All right. So notice how you're feeling now. Okay. So now we're going to start our first wave of standing poses, and we're going to step back into lunges. It'll be a little tricky, so really don't worry about how far you go back. So I'm going to suggest maybe have your hands on your hips. You might want to have, the wall or the chair handy. We're going to step back with our left leg, bending the right knee, sort of into our, runner stretch. And then we're gonna come forward. And then we're gonna step back. Right? And we're gonna keep going like that, alternating legs and bending the back leg too. So that we're having to use the hamstrings and the glutes to come forward. So the trick is, don't go too wide of a stance. If I go really wide, then I have to use a little momentum to get back up. So notice if you're using momentum or your muscles to get back to standing. And so keep going like this a few times. So one more time each side. And the next time your left leg goes back, hold it there. Make sure that right knee is over the center of your ankle, so this knee is happy. The back leg is bent. Our hands are still on our hips, or could even be on the thigh, or on a wall or support. And then we're gonna lower that knee down and lift. Try to keep the front leg stable and just bending and lifting the back leg. Feel that the hamstring and the glute are working, right? Oh yeah. Four more. 4, 3, really? See if you can lower the knee all the way down, but don't let it touch the earth. 2, last time, and go all the way down. Ho, ho, ho. Good job. Release your arms up to the sky. Knee down warrior 1. So we're gonna try our warrior poses in this knee down position. Again, if it's not comfortable to be on your knee, prop it or do it standing, right? And then we're gonna open up into warrior 2. So turn your torso to the left, keep your legs stable, open up your arms to the side. Notice the difference in the warrior 2 on the knee. Feels a little different, right? And breathe. Relax the shoulders, activate your arms, keep your right knee from dropping in. And then let's lower our left hand to our left hamstring, right arm up to sky, and reverse the warrior here. You might be able to reach back on that heel. And then with your strong legs, strong core, rise back up to the starting position. Reset if you kind of turned. And then go into our knee down triangle. So your right arm's gonna lower onto the thigh or just float towards the earth. Left arm to sky. Lengthen your torso and spin your heart open. Nice. And keep drawing your heart to your left, or at least to the left, maybe spinning it upward towards the sky. See what feels comfortable in your neck. Take one more breath. And then windmill the left hand down. We're going to go into a plank pose. Modified or full, up to you. I'm going to take the modified for starters. So I'm going to come forward off my knees. So I'm not on my kneecaps anymore. I'm on the tops of my knees. So it might be okay on knees. The hips are, a little lifted, but they're not dropping down, because that's not good in the low back. And it's not overly lifted. So we're kind of flat like a board. Our body's on one plane. Hold it here for a little bit. Feel that the core is really supporting this posture. Feel your arm muscles working and set your arms up. So it's a slight external rotation of the arms. I'm going to come forward for a second. It's these inner arms that kind of spin forward, right? So think about that. So that when we come down, our elbows could go back and our chest goes forward. Now I'm going to go sideways again. Go down slow. So we're here in our modified plank. Elbows go back, hugging the rib cage. We pause maybe, and then go all the way down onto your belly. Now keep your hands where they are. They're probably ideally positioned for this variation of Shalabhasana, or locust pose. Our hands are under the shoulders. Uncurl your toes. Maybe lift one leg and lengthen, and lift the other and lengthen. Now, when we come up, we really want to rely on the strengthening of the back body. And in order to support it and to protect our back, we're going to really engage the core here. So see if you can get your core engaged. Draw your tailbone down towards your toes, to your feet. And then you can press into the earth, but we're going to ultimately get light on the hands. Lift your chest, lift your legs. Keep lengthening. Keep drawing the belly in and drawing your tailbone down. Lift and breathe here a few times. You can lower down if you need a break. You can reset to, again, draw the tailbone down, draw your belly in. Squeezing the glutes and the hamstrings. Let them be doing the work here. We're not as focused on our upper back, but you're still looping your shoulders back. Maybe you can lift your hands to hover an inch or so off the mat. And then lower back down. Press up through hands and knees. Puppy pose, dog pose, your choice. And breathe. Good. Grounding your hips. Lengthening through the heels, your inner heels. Send them back. See if you can engage your quadriceps here. You know, we often, in this pose, we just focus on stretching the hamstrings rather than engaging the muscles in the front of the legs. So do that. See how it changes. And lift your hips. Take one more breath here. And then we will start to walk our feet toward our hands once again. However you want to get there. Back into our forward folds. Rise up halfway. Exhale into fold. Rise up through bent or straight legs. Hands to prayer. Prayer to your heart. Okay. Other side. I'm going to turn this way. Okay. So hands on your hips. Starting on the left leg, we'll step back with the right. The left knee bends right over the ankle. The right knee bends a little bit, and then you come back up with leg strength more than momentum. So find a drishti, because this could be a little balance challenge here. Find the pace. That'll actually help you in your balance. We don't want to be too slow, because that could be wobbly, or too fast. So find just the right pace where you can move with control, with body awareness. One more each side. And the next time the right leg goes back, stay here. Okay, hands could stay where they are, come onto the leg. We're just going to do that bending of the knee. We're really going to lower it down and lift it back up. Lower it down and lift. Keep the left knee right over the ankle. Feel that you're working your glute and your hamstring. Let the knee just hover over your mat and lift it back up. Now, if this is too deep, right, you actually could be here. Maybe your knee bends are right here. This is okay. Do what feels serving for you. Something that's going to help to strengthen your hamstrings. One more. The next time the leg goes down, hold it there and release your arms to the sky. Knee down, warrior one pose. Relax the shoulders. Good. Take one more full breath. Inhale and exhale. Open up into knee down, warrior two pose. All right, so keep the right leg where it is. Don't let it twist. Find that rotation from your belly. Broad across your collarbones, active arms. Yes, so we're on the left side. Breathing here. Really broad across your collarbones. One more breath. And then lower your right hand down towards the hamstring, your calf, or even on your heel, and reverse your warrior. Maybe lunge a little farther deeper with the lower body as you lift your heart and reach back with your upper body. Take one more breath here. And then let's rise up, back to that knee down warrior 2, and go into our knee down triangle pose. Using the leverage of your left arm and leg to rotate your torso a little more to the right, broad across your collarbone or spinning your heart up towards the sky, and then finding some nice comfortable rotation in your neck, whatever that is for you. Take one more breath. Inhale and exhale and de-rotate. Lower your right hand down to the earth. Hands frame your left foot. Left knee goes back to meet the right. Here we are in our plank pose once again. So find your plank. Again, maybe your knees are down, but you're off the kneecaps. Your core is engaged. Your hips are in line with your spine. Maybe you lift the legs. Up to you. Breathe here for a breath or 2 more. And then we're going to slowly lower down. So wherever you are, the elbows bend back because we've set up our arms so the elbows could bend backwards, hugging the rib cage, and slowly, slowly lower onto your belly. Keep your hands where they are, right underneath your shoulders or maybe your elbows. Uncurl your toes, lengthen through each leg. Plant the tops of your feet down. Engage your belly. Lengthen through your tailbone. Feel that lengthening. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the legs. Keep drawing your core in and feeling that there's some engagement in your glutes and your hamstrings. Loop the shoulders down the back. Head stays in line with your spine. It's not about lift or how high we extend. It's about working the back body. Lower back down. Maybe pause with your chin or your lips on the earth. We'll do that again, 2 more times maybe. So draw the navel in. Draw your tailbone down. Loop your shoulders down your back as you lift your chest and lift your thighs. Maybe you can even lift the hands. Let them hover. Making sure you're not feeling any strain in the low back. If you are, really draw your navel back in again. Let's lower down 1 more time. When you're ready, draw the navel in. Gauge your belly. Lengthen through tailbone. Lift the chest, lift the thighs. Hover the hands if you want. The more I really focus on engaging my core, the more I don't even lift my legs very high. I'm really just focusing on drawing it in and engaging my glutes. And then lower down, turn your head to one cheek and wiggle your hips side to side. Extend your arms by your sides, palms up. You can turn your head to the other cheek and wiggle your hips. Even windshield wipe your calves with bent knees. And then we will bring that movement to stillness, your head back to neutral, hands back under shoulders, press up through puppy pose or dog pose 1 more time. Couple of breaths here. Transitional breaths. Big inhale. Exhale it out with a sigh. Inhale, big inhale. Exhale it out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. And then let's come back to standing. However you transition to standing. Nice. Good job. And turn to the side of your mat or to face your screen and find the middle of your mat. Yep, let's see. Okay. So you might want to have your blocks handy. I don't think you'll need them, but just in case. And we're starting with a triangle pose. So you can step or hop out into a wide-legged stance. Okay, and then let's turn our right toes to the right. Left toes could stay facing forward or turn slightly in. Feel that your legs are stable, and more than ever, scissor your legs toward each other, like draw that right heel back. Maybe just focus on one leg, it might be easier. Draw that heel back. So your legs are super stable. Good. Your torso's opened to the long side of your mat. We're gonna lift our arms to shoulder height for a moment, but then we're gonna bend our right elbow and bring it into our hip crease. Left arm will still keep reaching back. And then press that hand into the hip crease as you draw that hip under the left and lengthen your torso. And then rise back up. So press in to lengthen. Good. And then rise back up. So two more. Press in and lengthen and rise back up. Last time, press in and lengthen. Now stay here. Bring your awareness back to your legs. Can you draw that right heel in a little bit so you engage the quadricep of the front leg? Release the right arm to wherever it wants to be. Maybe it's on your thigh, your shin, your block. And then let's send that left arm to the sky. Keep lengthening the torso and spinning your heart open. Keep your head in line with your spine. You know, in fact, even draw your head back. Like imagine there's a wall behind the back of your skull and you're pressing into it. So your neck stays neutral. From its neutral position, you can get a nice rotation, whether it's down at your right foot or up towards your left hand. Take one more breath here. Good. And then let's bend our knee and rise up to warrior two pose. You might want to, widen the stance, find your warrior two. The right knee is over the ankle, back leg is active, legs are sort of scissoring in again. Arms are active. Take a couple of breaths here. Good. Nice. And then let's rotate our torso to the right and send our arms to the sky. Pivot on the back foot so that you're in your sort of Kripalu Warrior 1 or crescent lunge. Good. Nice. And then hinge forward, finding your diagonal warrior. So it's taking a lot of core strength to go forward. Your arms are active, but they're in line with your ears. Only go as far as you feel this challenge, as you feel the belly, supporting you. Rise back up. Good. Now let's do that one more time. I'm going to move back a little bit. One more time. Now stay here. Keep your body at this diagonal. Send your arms back, palms down, arms back, airplane arms. Start to shift your weight into your right leg and lift the left leg. So you're kind of in a warrior three, a baby warrior three. We're not worried about making the T like we do sometimes. We're going to do a leg strengthener. So bend the right leg and straighten it. So bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Two more. Bend and straighten. Bend and really press the heel into the earth to rise up and lower your left leg to meet your right. And pause. Whew. Shake out the legs if that was a lot. Yeah, good job. Nice. All right. So let's do that on the other side. So when you're ready, come back to that wide-legged stance. Step or hop out. Triangle pose on our left. Turn that left foot out at a 90-degree angle. Right toes perpendicular or slightly in. Drawing legs together. Feel the more you draw the left heel back in, you'll feel the quadriceps engage. That really help to support the knee. So maybe look at that. Watch your knee track up. If you can't see it, move your pants out of the way so you can see the kneecap lift. All right, so good. So let's do that. So nice strong base, lift arms to shoulder height. Keep the right arm lifted, bring that left hand into your hip crease, tuck the hip under and lengthen your torso. And then rise back up. 3 more times like that. Tuck and glide. And so as you notice here, we're not worried about how far we go down, we're just worried about keeping length in the torso. And maybe getting a little, tuck of that hip under the other hip. Now this next time, stay there. Draw the heel back, you're nice and stable. Release the left arm to wherever it is. Doesn't matter how far we go down into our Trikonasana, right arm to sky. Lengthening through the torso. Head in line with your spine. Press the back of your skull back so you can find that nice rotation in your neck, whatever that is. Taking one more breath here. Next inhale, let's bend the knee and rise up. Exhale, sink into warrior 2 pose. Adjust your stance if you like. We'll just be here for a few breaths. Getting a sense of that scissoring of the legs once again. Active arms. And then let's de-rotate into warrior 1 pose. So you'll rotate your torso to the left, arms to the sky, pivot on the ball of the back foot. In Kripalu Warrior 1, we do stay on the ball of the foot, engaging our hamstring and our glute. It's, I think, a little easier to square your hips in this frontal orientation to the short side of your mat in this way. But if it doesn't feel stable, of course, you can always plant your back foot. Just make sure your hips feel happy, your hips and knees. Maybe give yourself some hip width. And then from here, we'll just hinge forward into our diagonal. So you're bringing your torso into this sort of weight-bearing position, and it's taking a lot of core strength. So feel that. Engage the back leg. There's your foundational leg. Rise back up. Let's do that one more time in preparation for our lunge squat warrior 3. Diagonal warrior. Stay here. Engage your belly. Send your arms back to airplane. Good. And then when you're ready, I'm going to move back a little bit so I have more room. Put the weight into the front leg. Lift the back leg a little. Come to straighter. And then bend your standing leg and lift. And bend and lift. And bend and lift. A couple more times. Bend and lift. Bend, really dig that heel in of the standing leg and lift up. Feel that you're working your glute. Feel that you're working your hamstring. 2 more. Last time. Rise up, lower your leg, come to standing. Shake it out. Whew. Take a couple clearing breaths. Inhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale it out. And one more. And exhale. So now let's do a squat. Let's do our Devyasana squat. So open up your legs a little. You can hop out if you want. And in this one, technically actually let's do an experiment. Our toes kind of turn out a little bit. The reason being that when we bend our knees, we want to keep the knees going in the direction of the toes so that the knees are stacked over the ankles for support. All right, so let's send our arms to the sky, bend our elbows and our knees, and go into our Devyasana like we always do. And look at how your body position. Make sure that your knees are drawing apart and over the ankles, not doing this, collapsing in. You know, not this. Yeah, so we want to be like here, and we're here. You know, the knees are back, and we're sitting back like we're going into a chair. So you can try that a few times and just notice your body position. And then the next time you come into it, actually I'll stay sideways for a minute, lower your hands onto your thighs. And in fact, if necessary, even hinge your torso slightly forward. So you can get that sense that your hips are going back like you're sitting into a chair. You're about to sit into a chair. The knees are over the ankles, you know, nice and happy and supported, and pointing towards the feet. And then from here, you can even press on your thighs, and we'll just raise and lower. Just pulse a few times. So this is something that's really important to note your body position. So, you know, it might be that this is helpful for you to have your torso a little further forward. And now hold it there in this squat with your hips as down as far as you can. Your hands are on your thighs, not so much your knees, a little bit behind the knees. And then press your right hand into your right thigh. You're going to come forward now. And then draw that shoulder towards the midline and draw the upper shoulder back and take a nice twist here. And breathe. And as you're twisting the right shoulder forward and pressing that right thigh away, you're drawing that left shoulder on top. And then come back to center and switch. That right shoulder left shoulder comes in, right shoulder goes back. Wringing out the belly, staying in your squat too. Gosh, there's a lot to think about here. Come back to center, one more time each side. Twisting, so pressing the right thigh away, shoulder down, left shoulder on top. Come back to center, other side. Stay in your squat, don't lose your squat. Hips are back like you're still going to sit in that chair. Come back to center, and then you can release your hands to the earth, straighten your legs. Bring your feet back to neutral, even toes in for a wide-legged fold. And just, you can melt here. Now in this posture, keeping our hips, ankles, and knees all aligned, there's always a tendency to go backward here. But you want to almost come forward. You want to shift your weight towards the balls of your feet. Your heels are still down, but you're shifting your weight forward. Your whole lower body, your legs are all aligned. And you're folding yourself in half. Again, if it doesn't feel comfortable to be this low with your head, lift up and keep it at heart height. Good, and you'll still get a nice stretch for the back body. You might notice we've got our groins and inner thigh stretching, outer thigh. Take another breath or two. And then let's rise up halfway, everyone. Let's heel toe our feet together. Heel toe all the way. Take a half lift, exhale and fold, and then we'll rise up to standing, hands to prayer, and prayer to our heart. Good job. All right, we've just got one more standing posture before we come down onto our mat. And that is going to be a variation of Navasana, of Nadajarasana, of our dancer posture. So let's, you have a chair or a wall nearby. I'm going to show it on the right leg first. So I'll be standing on my left. Now, it's kind of similar to the hamstring curls that we did in the beginning. So bend your right knee and bring your thighs parallel for starters. Again, have a hand on a support, your left hand on a support. And then with the other arm, or both arms, turn your palms forward so that you're broad across your collarbones, because this pose is a little bit of a back bend as well. Now we're not going to worry about clasping right away. We're just going to draw that leg back. So draw your thigh back as much as you're able to. Keep your foot dorsiflexed and lift the heel to the sky. So all you're really worried about here is drawing your right thigh back and lifting your heel to the sky. And feel this is a good strengthener for the glutes and the hamstring. They're all contracted, like feel back, feel it. It's all tight, that's good. Then you can lift your heart, draw your arms back and take a little back bend here. And here's your baby dancer. Tiny dancer. Now we need the song playing. Take one more breath and then lower the leg. How about other side? Okay, so this is a great balance pose. Doesn't matter if we're doing the full on, posture, we're really still balancing and we're doing some really good controlled strengthening. So the right foot is grounded, left knee bends, thighs are parallel to start with, foot is dorsiflexed, draw the thigh back, draw the heel up towards the buttocks. Spin palms back, lifting your heart. Good. Nice work. One more breath. And then lower. Okay. So let's try it one more time. And this time, if you want to take a clasp, you can. If you feel that the clasp sacrifices the strengthening of the quad or the hamstring, then maybe you're going to let go of the clasp and just work on that strengthening, since that's our focus today. And really important to keep those muscles strong. Okay. All right, so here we go. So shifting weight to left leg, bending the right leg. Again, foot dorsiflexed. Most important is bringing the thigh back and the heel up. Palms are facing forward. You're broad across your collarbones, taking a little bit of a back bend. If you want, you can take that right hand and take hold of your ankle or your foot. And then, but keep drawing that thigh back. Lifting the heel up. Don't even worry about like hinging down. We want to just keep lifting the heart up. Maybe even kick your foot back a little bit so you get a little opening in your shoulder. You could explore a little forward tilt, but we want to keep lifting the heart up. And then whenever you're ready to make your way out, we'll make our way out. And get ready for other side. Okay. So, bend the knee, draw the thigh back, lift the heel, palms facing forward, lifting your heart. Maybe staying here, or maybe you're reaching back. Keep drawing that thigh away and lifting the heel. Lifting your heart, and then maybe exploring a little bit of a forward tilt if you like, but keep lifting the heart up, lifting the thigh, kicking the shin back, feeling it in the glute and the hamstring. See if you can bring your attention there, no matter what variation you're in. And then slowly release. Take a couple of big sun breaths. And again. And one more big inhale. And exhale, super slow, lower your arms. Nice work. So yogis, let's go down onto our mat. So come onto your mat on your back. Good. Come onto your back. All right. Let's do one more little strengthener. And so it's bridging. And so you'll plant your hands, your feet about hips distance apart and your arms by your sides. Good. Press the back of your head down so that your neck stays neutral. And then often I cue us to use our elbows or our arms to press down to lift, but you're gonna let your arms be slack. We're gonna put all the burden into the glutes right now and the hamstrings a little bit. So when you're ready, just press down and lift up. Now try to get your torso in line with your thighs, just like we do in our plank pose, and then lower down. And just raise and lower a little bit, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the hamstrings. Some of my arms are not even working, using my legs. Now, if this is easy for you, you could do a couple things. You could extend your legs a little farther out, dig your heels in, toes are lifting, and then rise up. Lower and lift. And lower and lift. When I do that, I really feel like I'm working, I've shifted it from my glutes to more my hamstrings. Do you notice that? If you've tried that. So, 2 more. And then lower down. Bring your legs in. And then let's pull our right leg in toward our chest. Give it a squeeze. You can keep the left leg bent or you can extend it. You can even give it some shaking. You can just pull it in, little pulsation. Just pull and release. And then squeeze it all the way in. Feels good. You could even straighten that leg up towards the sky, interlacing your hand around the hamstring and getting a little stretch of the hamstring and the calf. Even adding some flexion and rotation to your ankle. And then bring that movement to stillness. Pull your leg in a little bit more as you ground your left leg down. Getting a nice stretch to the hamstring. And then point your foot, flex the toes, and then using your core and your strong leg, just lengthen through that leg and lower it all the way down. And release. And notice how that feels. Maybe you can let that foot drop out to the side and it feels really grounded and really relaxed. And then let's draw our left leg in, give it a squeeze. Maybe the right toes kind of track back up to the sky. And you can, pull it in and release really quickly. Just get a little shake it out. Any tension residual tension that might be there from our practice. And then squeeze that in. Good. And when you're ready, we can lift that leg back up to the sky if we want, holding the hamstring for support, pointing and flexing the foot, rotating in both directions. Bring that movement to stillness and then pull your leg in a little bit more to get a stretch for the calf and the hamstring as you ground the right leg down. And then slowly point the foot, flex the toes, keep the right leg grounded for a little extra support as you lengthen through your left leg and slowly, slowly lower it onto the earth. And then let both legs drop out to the side. Maybe even bring your hands to your hip points and ground each half of your pelvis down. Take a big inhale and exhale it out with a sigh. You can rock your head from side to side. And then press through the back of your skull so that your chin kind of comes towards the sky, your neck stays neutral. Maybe draw your shoulder blades together down the back so you're broad across your collarbones. Your hands could stay where they are, or maybe you can move one to the belly and one to the heart. Or maybe you'd rather just have your arms by your sides with your palms up. Take another big inhale and exhale it out with a sigh. And rest here for these next few moments. In this final relaxation pose of Shavasana, where we can integrate our work, restore our vital energy, and absorb the Shanti, the peace of yoga. You're right where you need to be. You're right where you need to be on your path, guided in just the right place for you today. Many times on my journey, I stopped short, convinced I would never find the place I was trying to find, only to discover that it was right in front of me all of the time. I had gone there instinctively, gone right where I needed to go, right where I was heading. There is a part of us that knows where we need to be and understands where we're really going. There's a place in us that has the map, even if our eyes and conscious mind can't see it, can't figure it out, or aren't certain it's there. If you're spinning in circles, feeling lost and confused, trying to figure out where you need to be, and not all that certain where you're going, stop, breathe deeply, look around. You're right where you need to be. Maybe you've been there all along. So allow your breath to deepen. Gently rock your head from side to side. Bring movement to fingers and toes. Sweep your arms overhead, taking a big stretch. And then sweep your arms by your sides, giving them a squeeze. Maybe draw your legs in. And then with bent or straight legs, you can roll to your right side, resting there for a moment before returning to a comfortable seat. Grounding through sits bones, lengthening through the crown of your head. Draw hands together in heart center and dropping your head into your heart in gratitude. And we'll lift our gaze and seal our practice by joining our voices in one Om. The divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste.